right now we want to bring back to the show because it was great to have him back in college football. And Wes, you had the call Saturday with Pitt and Florida State, but the quarterback, Kenny Pickett, joins us now. Kenny, first of all, I'm glad that you're healthy. It was great to have you back on the football field.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me back on.
I know it was rough with the ankle and everything else. So, October had to be unbelievably difficult. This is the last rodeo you want to play. You had some huge games. There can't be anything worse than wearing the baseball cap there on the sideline.
Right. As a competitor, it's very tough to watch. But due to my injury, I kind of had Florida State circled. On the timetable, that was probably the quickest I could return and the safest way possible. So I was really focused on getting back for Florida State.
Kenny, what do you learn? I saw the Coach Pickett version against Notre Dame where we're sitting upstairs with the headset on and the ball cap, and I got to believe that Coach Pickett was not as happy as Kenny Pickett was taking snaps last Saturday. But did you glean anything from seeing the ball game up top one week just to maybe look at it from another angle?
Right. I think it's just a different perspective to look at it. I took advantage of, really helping Joey and trying to be a coach for him as well, and just, see things and get to him on the sideline the second half of that Notre Dame game, try to help him out as much as I can, and, obviously during practice.
By the way, I know you want to play, right? That's the ultimate deal. You're a competitor. But could you see yourself being a coach somewhere down the road?
I do. I definitely like to stay involved in the game. I feel like I have some knowledge that could help a lot of, young quarterbacks and help take their game to the next level. So that's definitely something I'd be interested in.
All right, I want to get to the toughness aspect of this because Coach Narduzzi visited with our TV crew last week, and he said, we'll see. He was out there, and he did not sound overly optimistic. Now, maybe he was selling me a little bit, okay? When did you feel like you were a go for Saturday in Tallahassee?
I'd probably say Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday was a little it was a little rough at practice trying to get through. Thursday felt much better than I did on Tuesday, and just having that practice gave me a lot of confidence to go out there, and I felt like I could do what I needed to do on Saturday against Florida State. So I'd say Thursday.
Kenny, so the game starts, right? And I know you're excited. From the rust standpoint, knocking that bad boy off, once the game starts, does it feel like, hey, listen, let's just go play? I've done this 1,000 times. Or did you feel like, hey, listen, it took a while to get into a rhythm?
I'd say I don't think it took too long. I had that big play. I think it was the third play on that third down to Jared. Once I had that play, I kind of got back into the groove. I felt like I didn't really miss a beat. So it just felt great to get back out there and get back in the huddle and really just compete with my team again.
Yeah, Kenny, it's an interesting point because the throw to Wayne certainly then it almost kind of like took the plastic back off again for you because after that point, you guys as a football team really seemed to settle in, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the defense feeds off the offense feeds off the defense, and I think our special teams had a really really good game. Kirk Christodula obviously was like the national punter of the week. He had an unbelievable game, so I think it was really our best complementary football that we've played up to this point.
Joe Yellen fills in for you while you're injured. How would you assess his game and his improvement?
He's done a great job. He's a really young guy who came in and tried to learn a pretty complicated system without a spring ball. I think a lot of people forget that. And then we had camp, so I was getting majority of the reps in camp. So for a young guy to come in there and play against two really tough defenses, I think he did a great job, and he's got a bright future.
Kenny, tell me about the in-game stuff with Coach Whip because a lot of times when we're doing it, and Saturday was the third time that Roddy Jones and I have had your guys' game, and we'll notice during the game that after a play, you'll walk over to him and he'll say something, and there'll be almost like a little conversation with the play clock running. How does that go? Is it usually pretty good, or is there every once in a while does he say, hey, by the way, don't jack this up or something like that?
If I miss something, he'll definitely let me know about it. But it works pretty well. With the ankle, it was a little different. We did a little bit more of hand signals, and sometimes Nick Patty would walk out and try and relay the play. I was a little worried about the play clock, but throughout the game I got really comfortable with just kind of walking halfway and then walking back. So it actually wasn't too much of a problem. So I expect it to be pretty smooth from here on out.
Hey, by the way, speaking of Patty, what's up with all the scores? I know as a quarterback you wanted to distribute the ball, but, I mean, I saw those wheels. You had that rushing touchdown. Nobody could catch you. All of a sudden, Patty's coming in and getting all those scores, man. What's up with that?
I know. I had to throw him a couple. He got 2, so we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah, Roddy Jones said on the air that here comes Nick Patty, the touchdown vulture. I mean, he's stealing your numbers, Kenny. What's going on with that? I mean, you throw for scores, and Nick Patty's coming in. You had to take the 10-yard run just to keep him on the bench, I thought.
I know. Coach Whip was joking. I think we lead the country in getting tackled on the 1-yard line, so we got to work on getting in the end zone and finishing it.
You laugh about that, but, I think back to your season, and not to put salt in the wound, but hey, you got there at the 1-yard line against NC State. I still go back to that game a lot this year. And I know, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You can play that game all you want. But October really was a rough month for you, not only from a physical standpoint for you personally, but even from the team standpoint. It just kind of got off tracks a little bit.
Yeah. I think, we dealt with adversity really well over the bye week. That was the big thing. Get to the bye week, get healthy, and then bounce back for Florida State. And it's a 4-game season from here on out, So we start off 1-0. And now we got Georgia Tech coming in, or we're going down to Georgia Tech this week. So really we're focused on this one.
Kenny, take me through, Georgia Tech's a team when we're in divisions you guys see every year. Last year, obviously, they're a different team. They've changed schematically on offense. They've certainly changed a little bit of what they do defensively. But yet these always seem to be relatively close games. They seem to be hard-fought, turn-on-a-dime type deals. So is that kind of what you expect Saturday night?
Yeah, definitely expecting a 4-quarter fight. I think they're a really well-coached team. That they play really hard for their coach. You could just tell in the film. Like you said, in the past 4 years, I think it's always been a close game. So, we're not expecting anything less going down there this weekend.
Kenny, one of the things I've talked about, not only on this show, but also the radio show in the afternoon, is the dedication necessary by all student athletes, whether we're talking about football or any of the Olympic sports. We're now in the middle of November. And you guys have been getting after this for a long, long time, just trying to stay safe and healthy for the opportunity to play. Can you describe to the viewers and listeners how difficult that has been? Not only the whole process, but now that you're in halfway past the season, you mentioned it's a 4-game deal coming down the stretch. We come in the middle of November. At the end of the semester, you can see it. You're a senior. You're going through the whole routine. How difficult has this been away from football just to be safe and healthy?
Right. It's pretty difficult. You just have to know who you're around, really, and kind of stay. Coach Narduzzi talks about your bubble and just stay in your bubble. So you can't let a lot of outside people come in just because you don't know where they've been and who they've been around. So in that standpoint, it's really been the facility in my house and doing schoolwork and rehabbing these past couple of weeks to get back. So, in that sense, I've kind of been pretty focused on what I have to do just to get back for the team. But I would say it's tougher for guys that are in a dorm and guys that are in like an apartment complex and are around a lot more people. I'm rolling around my 4 other roommates, so it's been kind of easier for me. But for those guys, I'd say it'd be a lot more of a struggle and a lot more of a test to stay in their room and not go around other sports teams because you don't know what's going on with their team as well. So overall, I think it's been really tough, but I'm really proud of the way our team's handled it this far.
Kenny, you say the 3 other guys. I'm guessing the 3 other guys play football that are with you. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, 4 of them.
Okay. So if you're playing football, and you mentioned like other students in general, but other teams, it kind of almost and it's as much of a bond as student athletes have on college campuses because of the same type experience, right? And student athletes across all sports tend to congregate together. Now that's even more difficult, right?
Right. It's almost like you can't do it. We don't really go with other teams just because if there's a problem on their team, it'll carry over to our team, and then the whole thing could get shut down. And if you look at the big picture of it, so you're really not guaranteed. Like I talked about those 4 games, we're not guaranteed those 4 games. They're just on the schedule right now, and that's the plan. So everything can come crashing down. As you see across college football, games getting canceled, games getting postponed, and we're really working hard to make sure that doesn't happen to us. At least hold up our end of the deal.
By the way, last time we had you on, we were kidding around about you and DeVito, a bunch of Jersey guys slinging the rock all over the yard, and we threw a Springsteen question on you, and you're like, dude, I didn't know nobody's listening to Springsteen, not my age group. So with that said, get us up to speed. What are you listening to?
I'm not, I'd probably the same stuff I was last time, to be honest with you. Nothing too new. I'll dip in a country a little more here and there, I guess, with the fall weather coming around. So I'll stay with country a little bit. Obviously, rap and hip hop before games and stuff. So it's pretty status quo for me right now.
All right, fair enough. You've always been transparent with that answer. I just want to tell you, though, I've enjoyed watching your team. I love your defense. My man Paris Ford, I wish him the best. I know he opted out. But that band of brothers you got in that locker room, I always like watching your team play. And it was just great seeing you back doing what you love to do, slinging the rock, scoring touchdowns, and having fun.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.